It's time now for our weekly check on some of the stories on the economic front. And one story revolves around Korea's largest bakery franchise, which is reportedly gaining a remarkable fan base over in the US. For more, I have Ji, I believe, from the Korea Economic Daily Global Edition here in the studio. Ji, welcome back.
Hi, Sunny. So you don't always think of Korea as a hotspot for baked goods, but the country's #1 bakery chain seems to be a crowd favorite all the way across the Pacific Ocean. Paris Baguette, run by SPC Group, was ranked the 38th largest US-based franchise this year on the top 400 list. That is up from 54th in 2020, compiled by US trade publication Franchise Times. It was the only non-US franchise among the top 50. Its key to success was providing customers with a choice of fun, offering more than 300 different products. And of course, the growing interest in Korean foods, along with Netflix mega hit Squid Game, also contributed to its performance there.
Right. Ji, I understand the bakery chain is also looking to further expand its presence in North America amid its latest success, right?
That's right. So it's actually considering Canada. Paris Baguette is preparing its first store in Canada, and the franchise plans to invest in 4 cities, namely Toronto, Vancouver, Quebec City, and Montreal. The company operates franchise businesses in 7 countries, including Indonesia, Vietnam, and Cambodia.
Right, I see. Meanwhile, Ji, Hyundai Motor has released a teaser photo of its upcoming showcase at the world's largest consumer technology convention. Tell us more.
Sure. So come January, Hyundai Motor will showcase the whole gamut of mobility technology at CES 2022. Next year's presentation by Hyundai Motor Company will focus on presenting a future roadmap of changing the way we think about mobility by fusing robotics technology with metaverse. The company's officials said the robotics technology to be announced at CES will encompass our business target and goal of satiating the human race's fundamental aspirations when it comes to mobility. For 4 days from January 5th, Hyundai Motor will present its expanded robotics lineup to the public. Most notably, the conglomerate's plug and drive module, which aims to grant mobility to all objects, will make its debut at the Las Vegas convention. There will also be presentations on how robotics technology can work as a medium to connect metaverse and the physical world that we live in, with specific examples. Last June, the auto giant acquired US-based Boston Dynamics from Korean-Japanese-owned SoftBank for $1.1 billion.
Right, now shifting our focus away from big business, Ji, what's the latest on the startup scene?
Sure, so 2021 has been a heyday for Korea's startup ecosystem, especially for the VCs. In the first 3 quarters of this year, startups in Korea received a total of 5.3 trillion won, or $4.4 billion, from the country's venture capital firms. That is a whopping 82% jump from 2.9 trillion won in the same period of 2020. The accumulated investment funneled into startups from VCs through the end of September is even higher than the last year's total. The Korean Venture Capital Association said there were 268 newly formed venture funds in the first 3 quarters of this year, up from last year's total of 206. In the same period, 24 new VCs registered with the association to reach a total of 184. That is the sharpest jump in the last 5 years in terms of registered VCs. Based on data compiled by the Ministry of SMEs and Startups, Jipbang, Dunamu, Curly, and Tangan Market all reached the status of unicorns this year. The ministry said there are roughly 15 homegrown unicorns, citing CB Insight and industry insiders.
So what exactly does this mean for VCs that invest in them?
Well, flush with funds, they're looking for the next unicorns. So homegrown unicorns have paved the way for VCs to collect their return on investment with successful IPOs and M&As. There are 357 prospective unicorns with valuations between 100 billion and 1 trillion won at present, tripling from 2017. Some call it the redistribution of wealth in the startup industry, and this trend is widely expected to continue into the new year. That's all from me, Sunny.
All right, Ji, as always, thank you very much for the coverage.
Thanks for having me.